Good to see you all. Pankaj and Sanya, we really wish you could be here with us, but obviously you guys are busy doing the very things that we're talking about, so we'll have to settle for this, but really great to see all of you, and welcome. This is, I really meant it when I said I'm a fan of all four of you, and I'm sure everyone in the audience is too, for various things that you guys have done. Aparna, I'm going to start with you first. You've been the mind behind many of the most well-loved, beloved, memorable shows on your platform. So I want to start by asking you, and this is not a broad question, I am really asking, what is your secret sauce? How, is there a formula that you look for? How does your mind work? Because I'm guessing, we don't know. We're sitting on the outside looking in. You probably get pitched a lot. Every day, every week, every hour. How does your mind work? Are there things that you look for, when you identify phenomenal shows like Inside Edge and so many others, Mirzapur? How does your mind work when you're deciding?
Thank you so much, and good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for having me here. I like the fact that you call it the secret sauce. I really and very, very truly believe that India is a land of storytellers. We have stories, spread across every nook and cranny. There are just so many stories that are waiting to be told. And you're right, we get pitched a lot. But what I'm really looking for is, when somebody comes and pitches me an idea, what is so compelling about this story? What is so differentiated about this story? Why must this story be told? And why must this story be told now? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, how passionate is the creator? Is it the story that's keeping him up at nights? How invested is he in this story? And, at Amazon, every decision is really customer backwards. There are a lot of stories that are waiting to be told, but what are the need gaps that exist? What are the genres that are unaddressed? What are the stories that are waiting to be told, that the customers really want to watch? So, really, those are the three things, the story, the storyteller, and our audiences.
Okay, so I'm going to poke you a little further on that secret sauce as we get through this, but Richa, you ventured into web serials at a time when, not much was really known about it. There was Inside Edge, there have been others. Looking back on it now and how big things have become and how incredibly well-regarded you were for that and the other body of work that you've, been part of since then, how much of a risk was it and how do you feel looking back on it now?
Hello. When I got offered Inside Edge, another platform was originally producing it, and then it came to Amazon and Excel, who I've had the privilege of working with on Fukre and such. Yeah. When I said yes to this show, I said it because there was television I could not relate to. There was good TV that my parents grew up watching, but there was nothing for me. I couldn't relate to Saas Bahu, I couldn't relate to Nagin, or, and I could not see anybody in my generation, in my group, watching those things either. So I, like Aparna said, understood that there was a need for intelligent Indian content in Indian languages. Kitni der tak we'll watch Narcos and other things that come from the West. So when Inside Edge came to me, I was thrilled. I was really excited to, don this role and sort of have the opportunity to develop a character over 3 seasons, over 10 episodes each. But people from within the industry said, it's a demotion, tum web series karogi, how can you do films and then come on the small screen? And all those people are in shows today. So I don't think it was an act of courage. I think it was simply just having presence of mind or foresight. And I'm saying this now because there's still a few people among the acting fraternity or makers who believe that somehow this is in any way less, but when they look at the numbers, when they look at the reach, when they look at the potential to tell different stories, the faces that things like this can give us, Jaydeep Pehlawat and Prateek Gandhi and everyone is the potential is really, really there, and this is what technology is there for.
Has that demotion wala thing, has it evaporated now? Nobody says that anymore?
I mean, I can't go up to them and say, I told you so, but when I see them on a set doing a web series, then I think I have my answer.
Okay. Sanya, you began your career with a monster hit mainstream film, and now you've had 3 straight big releases on OTT. Were you apprehensive when you made that switch, because that was also sort of well past that time when people were saying that अरे तुम web series कर रहे हो, तुमने बड़ा film किया है, now you're doing a web series. Was it like that? Were you apprehensive?
Not at all. Actually, for me, the game changed completely in 2020 during the pandemic. When we all were at home, it was extremely gratifying, I would say, that first of all, so sorry. Hello, Pankaj ji. Hello, Richa. Hello, Aparna. Hello, Shiv. It's an honor. It's an honor to be here with you all. And getting back to the question, I would say that no, the game totally changed in 2020, at least for me. Shakuntala Devi came on Amazon, Ludo released on Netflix, and then Paglet released on Netflix. And the kind of response we got for the films was extremely gratifying. And the fact that we all were at home, and as an actor, I was getting to entertain the audience, it was a very special feeling. In fact, it was thrilling to see the kind of response we got because of OTT.
That's incredible. And, the transition is something that fascinates a lot of the fans of all actors who've made that transition very successfully. So in my next round of questions, I'll get to that. But Pankaj, welcome. Really good to see you. And once again, Sanya and Pankaj, I can't say this enough. We really wish you guys were here in person, but this is what we're going to have to settle with. But, I've been really late to the table with Mirzapur. Okay, big confession. I watched it really late. I watched it just like a few weeks ago. And no words. First of all, no words. It completely blew me away. It's one of my favorite shows and not just Indian shows, of any sort of show. It really is. And the other day, Pankaj, I was talking to someone in the office, and I was wanting to refer to you, and I unconsciously referred to you as Kaleen Bhaiya. I didn't call you Pankaj Tripathi, and I hear that happens in real life. Is that true? That people just refer to you as Kaleen Bhaiya in real life now?
हाँ, मुझे लगता है कभी एयरपोर्ट पे बोर्डिंग पास ना छापते कालीन भैया के नाम का। पहले तो ये तीनों खूबसूरत लड़कियों को मेरा प्रणाम, रिचा और अपर्णा और सनाया। तो ये तीनों बहुत ही खूबसूरत, शानदार, टैलेंटेड लोग हैं। यस, मुझे ना अपर्णा ही उसकी जिम्मेदार है कालीन भैया बनाने की। तो यस, अब बहुत जगह लोग कालीन भैया का नाम से ही जानते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि पता नहीं कहीं अक्सर हमारे घर के नीचे भी लोग आ जाते हैं, कुछ फैन कालीन भैया से मिलने आए हैं, तो जो हमारे बिल्डिंग की सिक्योरिटी है उन्हें मालूम नहीं है कालीन भैया कौन है। बोला यहाँ कोई कालीन भैया नहीं रहता है भाई। तो यस, वो कैरेक्टर लोगों को पसंद आता है या बहुत पॉपुलर हो जाता है, तो ऐसी चीजें होती हैं।
Did you think, Pankaj, when you were doing the role, first of all, tell us, how did you get into the role of Kaleen Bhaiya? How did you get into that role? And when you were preparing for the role and performing the role, did you think कि when you go out, that would become your identity?
नहीं, हम तो कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट करते वक्त हमें तो पता नहीं होता है कि यार ये कितने लोग पसंद करेंगे या कहाँ तक पहुंचेगी। हमें अच्छा लगता है तो बतौर एक्टर हम उससे जुड़ जाते हैं कि यार ये कुछ अच्छा साउंड हो रहा है। सो मैं वैसे ही जुड़ा था, मुझे मालूम नहीं था मिर्जापुर इतनी पॉपुलर हो जाएगी। हमें कंटेंट ठीक लगा था, राइटिंग अच्छी लगी थी पुनीत की, पुनीत कृष्णा राइटर थे इसके, तो बस, और मेकर्स अच्छे थे तो लगा चलो करते हैं, मजा आएगा। बट ये इतना पॉपुलर होगा ये मालूम नहीं था।
Aparna, wonderful shows that you've greenlit, all the pitches that you get, give us a sense of the kinds of things that you reject. We'd also like to know what doesn't pass the Aparna Purohit scale. Because, obviously there are more things rejected than there are greenlit. So give us a sense of, what, like, nahi, ye nahi chahiye, ye hum nahi banayenge.
Authenticity is very important. There are times when people come up to us and they tell us that, this show that we are trying to make, is a little bit like this film meets that film, and next season we'll take it into, another universe with that film. That doesn't work. What is the story that you're trying to tell? To give you an example, when Mirzapur was pitched to us, Puneet Krishna and Karan Anshuman, they knew the immersive world that they were creating, the characters, their graphs, and anything that that a character would say in, say, episode 4 of season 1 will have a bearing in episode 7 of season 3. So that's the kind of investment that they had made into that story. I think that is really important. We're looking at authenticity, sensitivity, with which the story is crafted, really.
When you reject certain shows, is it like a ruthless process? Are there times when you wish you had the bandwidth or the time to work on things and actually make them better? Because there's only so much you can do. I can imagine that.
There are many factors, of us not taking a show forward. One is, if we have a slate which already has a lot of, say, thrillers, then we perhaps wouldn't take it. If there is a similar show, we wouldn't take it. But I really believe that, we say no to that story. And really, the best answer to a yes is a fastest no. So, our intent is to quickly tell the creators that this story may not work, but you would work. We will try and find something else together. At Amazon, we're really trying to, create a home for talent, where every creator is working for us, not just on one story, but multiple stories. So really, this may be a no for this story, but not you, not your mind, not your passion.
And it's also about the current mood. I'd like to understand from you, Richa, because in a film industry where there's this constant plaint that film stars don't take strong stands, they don't speak about current events that are controversial. You definitely stand out because you tell it like it is. You speak out. You've got strong views and about everything that's happening. Do you see, or are you hoping that OTTs and web serials will reflect more of what the current mood is, the things that are happening out there? Do you keep notes about whether you wish certain serials would reflect some of the things that are going on?
So, well, I thank you for calling me vocal about issues. To be honest, I've always been this way. But right now, I perhaps stand out because the others are quiet. So, I tend to get segregated or highlighted or easily identifiable for that reason. I do think that already a lot of shows are reflecting what is going on. For instance, Patal Lok, I thought, was a great example of that. Even stuff where reality is fictionalized and made into something bigger than it is, like in Inside Edge. These shows are, art imitates life. So our inspiration is going to come from things that are happening around us. And it is the curse of the artist to feel more, viscerally than perhaps a banker or an accountant or astronomer. But this is what it is. So when a writer or a DOP or a producer or an actor looks at what's going on around us, they're bound to be impacted from it. And, you can either deal with it in the sense of allegorically or through humor, or in the non-fiction format or in a subversive way. But it will find its way into the things that we're doing.
Absolutely. And and one of the things that surrounds us pretty much constantly is politics in this country, and especially election politics. Pankaj, we are about to enter another phase of elections in this country in Uttar Pradesh, and we know how Mirzapur depicts politicians in UP and the way elections are fought. Do you believe, Pankaj, that more shows should have that kind of grit, showing the real dirt of politics in this country. There have been shows, there have been controversies, there have been censorship. Mirzapur kind of, took off all the layers when it comes to politics and how elections happen.
पता नहीं, मैं तो एक्टर हूँ, तो ये तो राइटर बता सकते हैं, तो हमें क्या मालूम, होना ही चाहिए। बट स्टोरी टेलिंग कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारे आसपास, हमारे समाज में, हमारे राजनीति में जो चीजें चल रही हैं, अगर आपकी कहानी, जैसे मिर्जापुर में थोड़ा सा पॉलिटिकल बैकड्रॉप था कि वो चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, कालिद भैया एक पॉलिटिकल कोई पार्टी को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो वो तो अंडर करंट होता ही है।
Sanya, do you think, since the film industry is often also accused of not frequently, playing with sensitive issues. Of course, there have been notable exceptions. But do you feel OTTs and web platforms provide a much greater opportunity to, poke those issues which are controversial yet need to be spoken about?
Definitely. I think OTT has given creators and artists a very big platform to experiment with the content that they're writing and performing. As Richa said, that live imitates art and vice versa. I think it's very difficult to, keep aside your own politics with the work that you are doing. And as Pankaj ji said, ki hum to actor hain. As an actor, it's crucial to have empathy for the characters that are completely different to what you are, आप बिल्कुल relate नहीं करोगे और उसके लिए भी आपको empathy रखनी पड़ेगी. But it's in some cases it's very difficult to keep your own politics aside as an artist. और वो reflection आता ही आता है जिन तरीके की आप movies as an actor उठाते हो और करते हो. बड़े ही कम cases में you can keep aside your politics and say that I want to perform this character and keeping aside what whether it's related or relatable or not. So, but I totally agree that OTT gives us a lot of freedom to experiment and write content.
Richa, when it comes to public, morality and the politics of the industry itself, do you find that there is a lot of pressure on actors to, take positions, or they're identified with, with their stated politics and they kind of get typecast in certain roles? Do you see that happening? Does that happen?
I think typecasting, stereotyping, these are all things that perhaps casting directors, producers, etc. do. Nehru started this amazing thing called non-aligned movement. And I think that that's where I stand, because I have to focus on myself and my career. And the fact of the matter is, in this country, it gets very difficult to identify with one kind of politics, because the politicians are hopping ship like, fish before and after an election. So I don't know who to support, honestly, because मतलब वो बिन पेंदे के लोटे की तरह घूमते रहते हैं. तो how can we peg our faith or trust in one person? And as for the pressure, I think that there is definitely pressure, and it's from both sides. It's from the woke warriors on Twitter also. What about this? Why haven't you tweeted? If you just go through the statistics of the kind of crimes that happen in our country on a daily basis, and that have happened even before the existence of social media, I mean, we can't very well tattoo on our foreheads, I hate murder, I am against rape. So it's impossible almost to comment on live tweet our thoughts and beliefs on a daily basis. There is pressure, there's always whataboutery, there's this and that. I guess you also have to live in the real world, put your ear on the ground and see what is going on. And as I always feel like, the only reason I feel like I'm somewhat vocal is because I pay taxes here, I vote here. So if I can do those things, then I can also exercise freedom of expression.
Things that a lot of people wonder about is the nepotism debate. It springs up from time to time. Some people speak about it. many stay silent. Some people dismiss it as non-existent. Some people say it's there. You know how it works. It keeps coming and going. In the context of OTTs and, from the outside looking in, it seems like a much more professional process where merit and, artistic abilities are of much greater, calling than anything else, like camps and things like that, and influence. Is that true from the inside? Are we right in thinking that?
I really believe that this is the most incredible time for actors and creators. I think what we're witnessing today is nothing short of a creative renaissance. Look at the actors that we have today on this panel.
Incredible, absolutely.
And this is not just an incredible time for actors, for creators, but also audiences. The kind of stories that can be told. If you just look at, the kind of stories that we've told in the last 4.5 years, 30 odd originals that we've put out, there are about 60% new actors, actors who hadn't got their due. I mean, who could have played Kaleen Bhaiya better than Pankaj Tripathi, or Zarina Malik better than Richa, or Hathiram better than Jaideep, or, could we have cast anybody better than Shreya Chaudhary and Ritvik for Bandish Bandits? I really feel that it's very liberating. This medium is very liberating. There is an opportunity for every character, to have a journey, to have an arc. There's nobody just sitting on the fence. And, so in front of the camera, behind the camera, just the kind of explosion that's happening. And I would say not just on Amazon, the whole ecosystem, the entire zeitgeist is changing. And it's so amazing.
Pankaj, would you agree with that? This is the greatest time for actors. Nepotism ki baat has become less. This is the greatest time for actors and merit.
अरे महाराज, OTT नहीं होता तो मैं आपके कॉन्क्लेव में मुझे नहीं बुलाते आप ही लोग. तो ये OTT का पावर है कि मैं बैठ के यहाँ बातें कर रहा हूँ, वरना कौन पूछता मुझे.
I beg to differ. I think we'd still bring all of you on, but yeah, Richa, go ahead.
पंकज जी, आप बहुत व्यस्त हैं, इसलिए बात आपसे कहाँ देखूं आप
अरे मैं देख रहा हूँ, आप बस
बहुत बड़ी हिट जोड़ी है हम इंडस्ट्री की. मैं आप सबको बताना चाहती हूँ, गैंग्स ऑफ वासीपुर पार्ट 1 and 2, फुकरे पार्ट 1 and 2, मसान, शकीला, अभी तो पार्टी शुरू हुई है और ना जाने कितनी सारी चीज़ें हमने साथ में की हैं. बहुत पैसा भी कमा के दिया है हमने बॉक्स ऑफिस को. तो ऐसा कभी ना सोचें कि आप सिर्फ कालीन भैया तक सीमित हैं. आप मतलब सर्वगुण संपन्न, आपको कौन नहीं जाता.
रीचा मुझे एक नाम दिए थी कालीन भैया के बाद, समकालीन भैया. समकालीन
भैया.
Sanya, I wanted
मैं मस्ती कर रहा था शिव की. OTT ने एकदम, मैं सहमत हूँ अपर्णा से कि OTT के होने की वजह से सिर्फ मुझे ही नहीं, हम जैसे बहुत सारे अभिनेता जो थिएटर से, जो FTI से, जो कहीं और से आए थे सीख पढ़ के, ट्रेनिंग करके, उनको उनका मुकम्मल स्पेस मिला है. क्योंकि यहाँ कहानियां 8 घंटे में होती है, यहाँ 2 घंटे में सब कुछ नहीं कहना है. तो यहाँ उस समय है कि आप कैरेक्टर्स के लेयरिंग में जा सकते हैं, राइटिंग के वक्त भी सब प्लॉट पे जा सकते हैं, जो कि फिल्मों में आमतौर पे नहीं होता था, क्योंकि 2 घंटे में कहानी कहनी होती थी वहां.
Sanya, I know you agree, but I'd still like to hear what you think, that this is, as Aparna says, the greatest time for actors.
Definitely a golden age for entertainment. जैसे पंकज जी ने बोला कि बहुत क्रिएटिव फ्रीडम है एज अ क्रिएटर, एज एन एक्टर, कि आप अगर सीरीज में काम कर रहे हैं, यू गेट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट इन द कैरेक्टर दैट यू आर वर्किंग ऑन. फिल्म में कभी कभार मौका मिलता है और कभी कभार मौका नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि कुछ फिल्मों में बिल्कुल कैरेक्टर डेवलप करने का मौका नहीं मिलता. सिर्फ बोला जाता है आ जाओ सेट पर कर लेना. पर कुछ फिल्मों में बहुत मौका मिलता है. और सीरीज में तो मैंने कभी सीरीज करा नहीं है, बट पंकज जी का काम देखकर और रिचा का काम देखकर मुझे लगता है यू गेट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू इन्वेस्ट. एंड डेफिनेटली इट्स द गोल्डन एज फॉर एंटरटेनमेंट फॉर cinema today.
As we look forward to the rest of this golden age, and we hope it only gets better, since we're almost out of time, so only occasion for one more question, which I hope I can ask all of you, starting with you again, Aparna, is we've seen so many shows, we've loved so many shows. I want you to name one world event or India event or personality on whom you'd like to do a show, like a strong wish list of something that you wish you could do a show on. And I'm going to get all of you to answer it, so please think. It can be a current event, it can be historic, whatever you like.
That's a great question, but my job is that of an enabler. So, it's really when the creators come to me with their ideas, because I can tell you I'd like to do a show on you, but where is a creator who do justice to your life? So it's really important that, I continue to play my part as the enabler, as a catalyst, who'd give, all the wings to the creators to tell their stories with passion. I just want to, provide that space and build that community where everyone can tell complex, diverse, really inclusive stories.
Richa?
Well, I think I would like to see more shows, not just about sports stars and actors and politicians, but I want to see female-led narratives that really impacted our lives today. I want to see something on Savitribai Phule. Nobody even knows. Like, there's no chutti in memory of or something, but the impact that, the reason why we are all educated and sitting here and independent women with jobs, she probably had something to do with it. So I'd like to see more shows, empowering narratives about rooted stories originating in India.
Sanya, do you have a wish list of what you'd like to see?
Let me take my list out of my pocket. There are many. I totally agree with Richa. More women-driven films, and I would like to be a part of a film where I can play maybe a biopic on Amrita Pritam. Like, that's my dream character that I would like to play.
And Pankaj, we'll end with you. Your wish list of what you'd like to see or what you'd like to play.
लाइक टू सी प्ले तो मैं नहीं, मुझे भी जो रूटेड जो फोकलोर्स है ना, भारत की जो लोक कथाएं हैं, हर स्टेट की अपनी है, बंगाल की, बिहार की, उड़ीसा की, साउथ की, दक्षिण की, तो जो इंडियन ट्रेडिशनल फोकलोर्स हैं, और मैं चाहूंगा कि उन पे और इंडियन लिटरेचर पे, हर लिटरेचर पे, मतलब इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस के, उसमें भी काम हो तो और अच्छा रहेगा.
I'd like to end by thanking Aparna, Richa, Sanya and Pankaj. You live in the hearts of millions, and we will always look forward to the work that you bring us. Thank you so much for opening your hearts to us here at the India Today Conclave. Thank you.